help if I would turn on my microphone. Um, Hello, everyone. Ronnie here, calling myself Coach Kvist. Since I am coaching on different arenas and different areas, it's just my passion. And what I'm going to do here for this lunch and continuously on Monday lunch is to share knowledge and insights that I think you guys could have value from. And also the reason why I'm doing this in English, I know most of my followers and listeners are actually Swedish, but on some of my channels, I actually have quite a few English speaking followers. So I am going to do this Monday lunch thing in English. And I'm going to start with telling my story a little bit and then come into the topic of the day because it's connected to my story. Um, I'm an exercise physiologist. That's my background. I started to work in that area in 1991 when I graduated from my university in the States, and had been studying for 17 years and was so hungry to go out and work. And honestly, still today, I feel like I have not really worked because I have always done what I'm passionate about. And to help people improve their performance, uh, that was my beginning because I was doing strength and conditioning in all kinds of sports, also educating coaches, other coaches, of how to become better when it comes to the physical performance. That's where I come from, and that's what I was doing for many years. Uh, but then it kind of sneaked up on me that my I thought that was my passion, but what I realized was that my true passion was actually more of the health area. Helping people improve their health was actually something I had a bigger burning desire for. So I started to transfer my work from working purely in the sports to getting more and more into the fitness area and more into the health area. And that's where I found my flow. It was not like I didn't have a flow in the sports world, but there was something that I wasn't that wasn't echoing with me. Resonance, the resonance was not 100% there. So when I started to get more into the area of health, I was getting more and more in my flow, and the more I got in my flow, the more passionate I became, and the more of flow and passionate I became, the more trust I created. So that is like an ongoing journey. And that's actually also the topic of the day. It's the trust, flow, and passion. Because when you find your true passion, what is it that you really, really, really like doing? And what are you good at doing? Can you somehow combine those two things? Can you find an area where you find both passion and what you're good at? I did a I did a test several years ago, um, uh, where I actually tried to find out what I'm good at. Because sometimes, especially if you're self-employed, you sort of know what you're good at, but not you cannot be 100% sure. There's always some angle to it. There's always something about it that you are wondering about, if this is really, really, really something that I should do, or if this is really that I'm actually that I'm good at. So when I did that test, I started after I got the results. I started to understand what I shouldn't do. I started to believe in my strengths, and I started to get more and more in my flow. And this is actually what I would like to talk about with you guys is that, when you have that, when you get into that state of trust, you will always be most trusted where you are mostly, now the phone rang, where you are mostly in flow and where you're consistently delivering value. Because when you do what you're passionate about, you know what you can deliver in value. And when you deliver value and you combine the value, knowledge, and passion, that's when the trust comes. So it really, I would say it really doesn't matter what area you are in, as long as what you do is something you love, what you do is something you're passionate about, because that will put your time and effort into that specific area. And when you put your time and effort into that specific area, then people they can really see your passion, and they can really understand that there is a lot of value behind what you're delivering, and that create trust. So whatever you're doing, and I guess that you are following me because you have an interest in health, but if you dig into the area of health, health is a huge area, and narrow it down so that you find that bull's eye that you really love and that you really want to do, and that's where you're going to find where you can deliver the most and where people are going to trust you the most. So with this said, find your flow by finding your passion. And I have always said, we do not need to have a job, we need to have an income. And if we create an income based on what we are passionate about, then we are never going to have the feeling of going to work, because you're living with your passion. And what could be better than to live with on a day-to-day life with something you're passionate about? And that's something I decided many, many, many years ago. And that's why I feel like I can really dig into the space of my passion, combining that with what I'm good at, and that create the trust. So I hope you get some value out of this. I hope you can create something out of this, and please get back to me, write in the comments below what you think about when it comes to trust, passion, and flow, and if you have experienced anything in this, because I want you to find your flow if you haven't found it. And you will do that by defining what you're good at and defining your passion. All right. Happy Monday. Hope you get some value out of this. And I hope to see you here again next Monday. Until then, have a great week.